Welcome back, hunters. I'm the SurvivalVis, and we return to Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. We're going to clear out the last of the voting options that were in the poll for Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. So today, we're actually going to be doing a bit of an interesting hunt-a-thon. It's going to be for Najarala, of all monsters. And then I'll probably be putting up another poll, or have had put up another poll after, Thursday of last week. I'll have that poll have gone up. I do kind of apologize a bit for, like, how some of the things fell. I had to basically do the recordings a week in advance, so I had a lot of votes come in for the Najarala Hunt-a-thon after I sort of had to, like, record the episodes already. So that's why, despite, like, them pulling ahead, they aren't going to happen till today. I'm going to try to avoid that with putting out the poll much earlier than before. So I'll get these wrapped up, and then we'll see what all of our options are. Everything's looking pretty good. So let's talk to Sophia here and head on out for that hunt-a-thon. And, oh, we have a Gravios hunt-a-thon too. That'll be an interesting one. So what all do I still have? Okay, I've actually got a bit opened up here. So we've got Rathalos, Celtis Queen, Tigrex, and the Gravios hunt-a-thon. As we're going to be tackling these two in the next couple of episodes. So yeah, it looks like we'll have a little bit of a nice variety for the polls when we get back to it. And then I also do want to ask you guys if you want to see the more expedition-exclusive monsters, like Basarios, Yonkaku, and I'm sure there are going to be a few others as we're getting more into high rank, where you'll only encounter them through, like, the expeditions and then guild quests. So if you guys do want to see those, be sure to let me know in the comments, because I'm debating on how I should, like, try tackling them. They're a little bit of a weird subject, because they're in-game, but there's not anything specific you can really do to encounter them, aside from, I think, just watching for the expeditions to come up, or going on certain expeditions and unlocking them as guild quests. But if you guys do want to see those, be sure to let me know in the comments, and I'll definitely look at squeezing them in to the 4 Ultimate series. I'm kind of hoping once we get up towards G rank, we'll just have all the monsters will be, like, in the quests, and I won't have to worry about the expeditions too much. I don't know if that'll be the case or not, because, again, 4 Ultimate was a really weird entry for what it did. Like, there are quite a bit of, like, expedition-exclusive things that can be a bit harder to specifically aim for, unless you're really thinking about them. Now, why are you zooming out on me? Yeah, so we'll see how many Najarala I can get before, like, I'm out of ammo. One of the interesting things will be how much health they'll have, because with the hunt-a-thon, it is the case that the monsters will have a little bit less health than they usually do, like if you're encountering them in solo hunts. I guess kind of like to offset it a bit to say it's not... Ow. That was a bit of a schmankin'. But one nice thing about Najarala is because it's such like a physical attacking monster, this armor set will probably be quite helpful in, like, blocking a lot of the major damage I'd get. Like when I was fighting the Kezu, well, Red Kezu and Kezu, we saw that they were able to do a lot of damage with the thunder attacks. Najarala here, as much as it uses, like, these special sound attacks, they won't really do more than just physical damage. So I should be good using the Tetsukawa set to get these guys down. And then I'll also have to try to figure out what I want to do as, like, the next armor set to get. I am still debating on if I should get the low-rank Narkuga and just try to upgrade it as far as I can, because it still will have some very nice heavy bowgun skills on it, like the evade distance and the... Oh, I'm probably going to die here. No, maybe not. I was able to get out of there. Yeah, depending on where it coils around you, it can be a little difficult trying to get out of that squeeze sometimes. And then another thing I also want to bring up is... Ow. I was just in range of it. And you guys are pretty much useless at most times. Be very careful of what Palco armor you do equip your Palcos with, because one of the things, if I go into the equipment, their targeting system is actually tied into the helmet they use. So before I had Runa using the Gargoyle Mask, that meant it only would target small monsters. It actually wasn't doing that much to help us against, like, say, a large monster like hunting Najarala here. So be mindful of that when you're trying to just get them any equipment. I still think this is one of the weirdest ways to, like, try to get gear for your Palicos or that, and definitely much prefer what they did with Rise for, like, the system. Well, I should say Rise and even World and Iceborne, because they had the scrap system put in as you get your own armor. Oh man, I'm really leaning to wanting an evade distance set. Like, the Heavy Bowgun is just so slow that back in these days, you didn't get any, like, dodge boost like World would give you. So you could really feel that you were subject to a lot more damage and attacks than... And then it's got quite the range for the Sound Roar, too. And what's the quest info? A large wyvern tier. Okay, that might be a bit tricky to get. Alright, let's put that away. Okay, I was out of that. Yeah, I think the coil is still a bit... Like, it's a bit of a flavorful attack, but it's also one that's a little finicky for how it actually works. Because all it takes is it, like, rubbing up against you a little... Well, I was kind of hoping you would have used your healing horn, since, I mean, you are the healing Palico. Oh, you guys are not doing what you're supposed to be anymore. I don't think I've gotten, like, one of their healing things to go out. I'm not sure if that's just because they've been taking so much damage from Najarala, or... Again, it's just that the Palicos aren't really as helpful as they should have been. And then there is also... Like, there's a mix of what Palico types are best to bring on hunts. I know of one that can be very helpful, but also you need to be cautious with are the trapping Palicos. Because the traps do have diminishing returns, so if you trap a monster too often and you need to be on a capture quest, there's a chance that you might accidentally use up all of the trap time, and when you actually need to capture it, it just instantaneously breaks out of its trap. Okay, you know what? I'm going to use the little thing down here to craft. And I don't think it's really that much faster than, say, just using the menus for it, but, I mean, if I have it there while I'm walking, it's easy to do that. So I'm hoping this means Najarala is... Yeah, okay, so it's pretty weak at this point. We should be able to finish off with just a little bit more here. Oh, yeah, speaking of, there we go. Didn't really break that many parts, but I think if I were to... Okay, you know what? I've got to deal with these Mealinks, because I know they're going to cause problems. Where's the other one? Yeah, that should keep them away while I carve. I didn't get a lot of part breaks aside from, like, the beak in that, but that's, I think, probably the biggest one to aim for. Because there's the... I'm trying to remember what the high-rank version is called. I know the low-rank version is called the Chilling Beak. And that one you have to use for a few different pieces of equipment and gear, so it's more of a commodity to try getting, but when it comes to the high rank, I can't remember what it's called exactly. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll find out after this quest is over. We're not doing too bad for the timing either. Like, the first one was down within the first 10 minutes. And let me just... Yeah, see, I think it's more because I've been playing 3 Ultimate. I'm more trained to use the crafting menu there than using the other dual screen that I've got with this emulator. Oh, and the next Najarala is already up, so let's see about taking it out. If I can probably get some mounts, I'll be able to break the, like, the... Kind of hard to say what that area is. Like, it's not really the spine. Oh, wait, shock trap? Why did you pick up the shock trap? I thought you were supposed to be healers. What the heck is going on? Oh, maybe it's the helmet again. Is that maybe something that changes how they do, too? Okay, well, there's the beak broken, which is, again, a big one. I'll have to take a look at that after when we get a chance, like... Probably towards more downtime on this hunt. Nope, let me target cam the nausea. There we go. And let me see if I can just break the tail. Like, I think there's a heavy bowgun I can try making... Ah, see, again, I really want an evade distance set. It feels like Heavy Bowgunner is just too slow and needs the boost. Yeah, it feels so slow, even just putting the frickin' weapon away. Like, on the one hand, it is nice to feel the weapon has this weight. On the other... You almost need a way to offset it more. I think 3 Ultimate, because it was a little bit more... I think he got a little bit better skill selection than he really did for, like, this generation. Like, there are a few sets that have, like, the Pierce up, and actually, there wasn't even a normal up in low rank, I don't think. Or if there was, it was only, like, the, I'm trying to think of what all the gunner sets have really been I've used so far, but I don't think there's been anything, like, super built for specialty gunning. Like, the Tetsu set here, it does have the reload speed, which is nice for bow guns, but... The other stats are more survivability, so this isn't something that's, like, meant more for... I think, like, true, long, dedicated... Oh, God, I'm gonna get hit here. Yeah. Like, I have no way out of that, and sometimes just the locks of the game are a bit more annoying, too. What the hell was that? Yeah, I'm dead here. And the pal... Oh god, those two are just completely out. Yeah, I got it. I miss Cha-Cha and Kiamba. They were so much more useful than these guys. I don't know what's going on where, like, they are not helping for, like, healing anymore. And the thing is... See, you're healing, you're now your leadership. I thought they were both healing at one time, or... And unfortunately, I can't actually change that much in Runa, I don't think. Like, I can't actually change her out as my main Palico. I'm stuck with that. So I don't know if it's just the main leader, or, like, the main Palico is something that is defaulted, and it just works with something else, or... There's a lot of 4 Ultimate coming back to... I'm finding the parts I didn't like again, and they stick out quite a bit from your... Like, how Monster Hunter has been both before it and after it. Like, I still am not a fan of having this horde of, like, Palico's little army, like, that's, like, weird side activity stuff. I think World handled it best, where it really is a case of it's just like a rotating or a different group you send out for small little side gathering to help you with certain materials. More so than you have to dedicate yourself and get your guys outfitted through that as the only means. Because I don't believe there's a way to trade materials for scrap in this game, but I'll have to check maybe in a little bit and see. Okay, so it went somewhere. I think it went down here. But yeah, the Palico armor and the gear, it doesn't feel like it meshes well enough with the main draw of Monster Hunter. Or, well, of the game to go out and get your own gear and that material-wise. The leaping and the mounting, I still feel like Monster Hunter could be best without it. Because you have to take into consideration, like, where the heck did it go, then? Because it... Maybe I went all the way down the area just outside the base camp, then. But, like, consider mounting stuff like Zinogre in this game, where it's an electric monster. Why doesn't it just stop and electrocute you? You're on its back. It's got the power to do so. Or like mounting Najarala, why don't they just like bury and get you off? It's one of those... I think it was just for the flavor of it, but I don't find enough flavor or reason to really justify it existing to me. Let's just try to get you down and then see what I can get. I do feel like I gotta get just an armor set that gives me some better skills. Again, that evade distance, because of how helpful it was in 3 Ultimate, it feels like it's just almost a necessity, because so many attacks have such larger hitboxes in this generation. Like, even Najarala, for its size, it's a huge monster that covers so much ground with its tail attacks. You don't really have good ways of dodging out of that unless you have a evade distance or you can quickly sheath the weapon. Like, case in point, how do you really get out of that unless you really have a great dodge distance cover? And they're already down again? God, the Palicos are useless. I don't even think they're up for like a minute in the fight. Because I swear, they were just up and now they're already gone again. And you basically need to gear them up, because otherwise I think they're going to just get knocked down more easily as the quests get harder. It's a convoluted... That's something I do feel 4 Ultimate has had, is convoluted systems. The expedition means of only certain monsters can be found through that, or you have to unlock the guild quests for certain monsters just to... Oh, come on. Okay, well at least Calico got me out of that, so that was good there, but... Yeah, 4 Ultimate, I'm remembering why this was my weakest entry, or second weakest entry through old Monster Hunter games I've played. Too many systems just feel tacked on that don't mesh together well. Okay, so it's moving again. If we can get it down, then we should be able to just wrap up the hunt-a-thon with the 2. And we'll see what gear we get, but I think Najarala is mostly a capture set. I think it was like for trapping and capturing, and that's where, for some reason, that was where all its skills lie, and I don't really know why. Oh, really? Like, even that is enough to... Ah, so many little just knockdowns. Ah, would you target them a little more? And am I going to get out? Oh, thanks for nothing, Calico. That's another thing, it's like... Oh, that's going to be another feint here, isn't it? God, these guys have been useless this hunt. No healing, barely any attention to you, and... Like, this... Get rid of the little angry thing that the guys can get, because it's more annoying to actually have them in place than... Like, if it wasn't at the angry, aggressive thing like it did, it might have been able to knock me out with the roar, and I could have dodged that, but... Yeah, it feels more like they're a hindrance. I'd rather not take them and get extra carts. Because they're really useless this hunt. They have done nothing to super help me out of a lot of the situations that have just been coming up, and they aren't even surviving either. Like, they get knocked down so easily this hunt, and it's frustrating to have them along because they are something you kind of depend on a bit. I'm hoping I can just put this Najarala down quickly, and then we'll be able to head back to base and just wrap things up. But yeah, these guys... I really wish I could just get rid of them and get more personal boost, like an attack buff and stuff like that for it. I do have the charms with me, but... Yeah, when you hit some of the stumbling parts of this generation, it feels like you really hit them and take a tumble and a fall. And it takes so many outings to actually get, like, anything from the Monster Hunters, too. Like, until you get a huge horde of them or leveled up or that, I don't think you get, like, more than 1 or 2 scraps per trip you send them on, so they are a means of... And then they're also another thing, too. I know it's a lot of nitpicks of it, but this, I think, was one of the reasons why I disliked 4 Ultimates as much as I did, like, as a generation. And, okay, why are you still on me? You have the 2 of them right... There we go. Okay, well, I might even actually be able to get a large wyvern tier here. No, just a round acorn. Okay, well, I'm going to wrap the hunt-a-thon up. Yeah. I don't even know why they chose at that point to do the healing. I don't know if I hit, like, the certain health threshold they decided, oh, that's when we'll cop in and do it. It's just... these guys are not very good. And it sucks because their previous iteration of Cha-Cha and Kiamba, they actually weren't bad. They were pretty helpful to have along because of the dances and stuff they do. Even with how long those took, they seem more reliable than these 2 dum-dums are. I call them much worse names, but I'll keep it a little bit friendly. Okay, at least there's the hunt completed. We'll head back and see what we got from it all, but... Yeah, I've got to get a skill, an armor that has just some proper evasion to it. I don't want to put a shield on the Heavy Bowgun because it's not really worth it. You take huge chunks of stamina loss to block a hit, and you're still taking chip damage through it too, or even more than chip damage. So it's really not worth it to put a shield on Heavy Bowgun, and I feel if I can get evade distance, the game's going to play a lot smoother, because it feels like I'm actually properly able to avoid certain attacks. Okay, so, got a fair amount of stuff from this one, despite how rough it was towards the tail end there. Yeah, that's all done. Got that. Najarala and high rank expeditions. Yeah, we'll save there. We'll take a look at the armor and the possible weapons for it. Again, I'm not sure if there is a heavy bowgun or not. I feel like I could really use something just to... a better hunting set. Okay, yeah, so we'll start with weapons, and there is a new heavy bowgun. So this is the Bite Blaster. Interesting look to it, but I don't know. I guess it kind of does convey Najarala a bit. Although the front is a little odd looking with the almost like pair of eyes there. So it's a very fast reload, normal 2 crouching fire. Actually has a lot of normal capacity to it, but again, I don't really have a normal upset where it would excel in. But it's nice to actually start seeing we're getting into high capability and high capacity heavy bowguns now. There's a few that do have it, but they're a bit more limited at the moment. As for armor, where is Najarala's? There it is. Yeah, so it's an interesting looking set. It's still the same as low rank, and the skills are... I mean, the hearing's nice, but the other ones I don't see using much at all, like the paralysis or the tranquilizer. Again, it's more of like a capturing set than anything else, so that's not really up alley for what I'm looking for, but we at least got that hunt-a-thon done. It was a bit rough. It was the Waikun one. Ah, Hunter, your timing's impeccable. The Head Whiskers Sunsnug just contacted me about further expanding the island. Even larger... Yeah, I don't really care. Like, I don't need an army of these guys. I just need one that can do its job properly. Check that. And... yeah, another problem I have with mercenaries, or the monster hunters in this generation, you don't have somewhere just right in the village you can go to, talk to, and send them out. You have to go off to the side and talk to the housekeeper. Whereas, again, like in World, Iceborne, Rise, since you made all the gear yourself, they were more of, again, a little side add-on that was, if you wanted it, it was there, but it wasn't something that felt super mandatory. Whereas here, it kind of does now. What do I need for that? So that would be yellows and Reds. Okay. So yellows and reds. Let's see, let's get... Okay, there's a big yellow. Yeah, you can see I also don't really go out of my way to, like, try to get more, too. It's... Okay, so there's some 2 very good-sized yellows, and let's get 1 more red. And we'll send them off to do whatever they're going to do. I don't know if they'll actually get anything or not, but at least, again, while I'm thinking about it, let's try to just play and get that. I don't know if it's the helmet that changed and that has really screwed up with them, or what. Let me see what happens if I do change out the helmet a bit. So that changed it back to... Okay, that's a bone helmet. Oh, come on, you stupid. Okay, there we go. So large first. And still saying leadership. But it does have large first. Yeah, you know what? I'm not even sure what I should do for it. Like, I don't know if I want to... I guess I'll put that back on it right now. And we'll just keep them at that for another go-about and see how things are. But, yeah, the Palico system, the expeditions... A lot of it felt like this weird side stuff they tried to press and force you more to do for it. It could have been done much better, but, I mean, we'll focus again on the next quest and probably stick just more to story and that, and hopefully, once I get a better set, things will go a bit smoother. Thank you guys so much for joining me on another episode of Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, though. If you did like the video, be sure to give it a like, and if I have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure to leave comments right down below. We're going to be going for the double Rathian next, so that'll probably be a different experience. It could even be, because of Najarala's size, it's much harder to evade the attacks on it. So it could even be that's just a monster I'm not very good with for that reason, and that's why I had so much issue. But we'll see what comes next episode. Until I do see you in it or another video, survivors and hunters, please remember, as always, to take care, stay alive, and happy hunting.